record button. How weird is that? Thought I did it. Okay, so let's go over that on the recording. Okay, so July 11th, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, we're going to be going live. And I'm asking everybody to be ready so that they'll have something they can promote, something they can talk about, something they can direct people to, an affiliate program, or your own product, your own service, or a special you're having. So that is a fantastic idea. Does anybody know what they're going to do yet? Oh, no. James shakes his head, no. Arnita, what were you going to plan on promoting?
Well, it looks like I was going to go with Let's Go, but my heart's not totally in it, but it's easy for now. So.
It's a good start, right?
And I love the funnel builder. It just I'm just not, I don't know, I'm not comfortable with it, but I love all the ideas about it and what we can do with it, and wished I could do it.
Okay. All right. So when you said my heart's not in it, boy, my heart went down.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I use an application now, Insight Timer. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes.
And I've used it for years. I'm like, oh boy, I'm over probably 1,500 days, consecutive days of meditating. Close to 2,000, but that's consecutive, and it tracks you, which is what I like about it. The software tracks you. And so I've been using this for over a year or two, and it's hard for me to transition to Let's Go immediately because it's Insight Timer that I'm used to opening immediately. So I focus more on my spiritual side than the business side, I guess. And it's just what I'm used to. Plus, I broke my streak once and had to start all over again. And these are consecutive days, so this is critical. And I have my phone set 3 times a day that I shut down. Not a long time, but in silence, 10, 2, and 6 every day. And so these things I'm already doing. And so I guess Let's Go is just not at top of mind awareness for me. I love that it's there, and I have gone into it, and I do things with it, just not every day. And there's a problem there.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to suggest, and this is not you don't have to take my suggestion, but I'm going to suggest that we do the funnel builder instead, because that's not something you have to log into every day. It's something you can get behind. You have been with this company for many, many years. You know everybody involved in it. You believe in the product and the service and the people behind it. So I'm going to recommend that you go with that for this time. And then if you get comfortable with Let's Go later, that's great. All right. Yeah. So the second thing I want to say about that is you don't necessarily have to use a product yourself in order to have an affiliate, in order to promote an affiliate product. And here's why. If you know somebody that is using it and they love it, and you like that person and you trust that person, that's enough. You don't have to use a bra in order to recommend it. Okay, so if for a man, you could sell bras, you could sell, you know what I mean? You could sell a necklace even though you don't wear it yourself, but you saw it on me and you saw me demonstrate how you could take the rocks out and you can fill it in with a different color rock if you want. You can sell things that you're not using, but you have to be behind the product.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. Don't think, Arnita, sorry, that you have to be 100% in it every single day and doing it. You know, other people are.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I want to develop ways to make personal development fun. It needs to be fun.
Yeah.
Yes. All right,
Great.
I'm going to pause for a minute and introduce Cynthia since so no one else has popped in. You know, I guess a lot of people are on vacation. It's July, and I'm not going to worry about it. So usually, Cynthia, there's more people here, but you will meet them as you come in, and we'll introduce you next time to more people. So Cynthia, tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about what you're offering, your products, your services, and how you ended up here today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cynthia Hugh. I'm new here, and I'm here because of Marian, of course. And I am a certified holistic nutritionist. I have been in this arena for more than 2 decades, and I was in the medical care, healthcare for more than that. Anyway, yes, and recently I hired Marianne to do my website, and of course, and I knew her before, and I know her work, and you know, I trust her, and I hired her to do my website, and it is officially done last week. I guess that's my winning. And oh boy, let me tell you, it's going through lots of things, but finally it's done. But I'm still learning how to do it. Okay, so and said that, and if you guys have a chance to take a look at my website, it's a Cynthia Hu. That's my name, cynthiahu.com. That's my domain, so you can check that. And then I think to me it is very nice, and I'm very happy with the design and everything. And now it's for me, it's just that I need to learn how to use it because I'm good at the different things, but for the web part, and then it's a little bit challenging. So having said that, Marianne, is it possible maybe I can maybe consult with you maybe for about 5 minutes to just work with me with my first post. I have the blog ready already, so I would like to doing that with my hand and show you the direct the step. So just need 5 minutes with you and to see if it's okay, and then I'll be published. Is that okay?
It is, however, I'm going to give you an opportunity to work with us here in the Mastermind. So one of the things I love doing here, and you'll see as we go along, everybody is working on something different here, okay? So what we do is sometimes we'll open it up to the whole group so that they can learn along with you. So there's so many chances for you to do that. So you can work with us as a group. You can work with Ricky individually. You can work with me individually. There's the group on the Facebook group for the main people. So there's lots of different things that you can do to get answers, to get someone to look at it before it goes live, you know, that kind of stuff. And I love that. So you get to choose. You really do get to choose any of those.
Sure. Thanks.
Oh, absolutely. And I've got lots to talk to you all about today. So let's get started.
We're getting started.
Yes, James, what do you have?
No, I was just saying, congratulations to Cynthia on getting started. It's awesome, and we look forward to being your support as well. And you know, being comfortable with asking any questions. You can reach out to any of us as well. So we look forward to being a part of your growth.
Oh, that's nice, James. Thanks. That's so sweet. So here's some of the things that I thought we could talk about today. I'm still doing very well with the coffee chat, and I know that Stu started his coffee chat last week, so I'd like to check in with him and see if he got any takers and anything that's going on. I also want to talk a little bit about the podcast I did today. I created a podcast today, and I want to talk about YouTube and the podcast apps. I also wanted to really focus in on ChatGPT today because they had a major upgrade. Claude had a major upgrade, and of course, Perplexity. I want to tell you that I had to chastise Perplexity, so I want to tell you about that. I also want to touch on the book compilation. We're all doing, Cynthia, one of the things that we're doing is we're all writing a chapter in a book together, so a compilation book. And I also wanted to touch on the AI portion of Zoom and also the Facebook group. So we kind of touched a little bit on the Facebook group, but before we do, does anybody have any issues, questions, problems, or anything that we could do before we get into any of that?
For me, it's just my friend Earl Thomas that just came on board. He's been so busy trying to get things started on his end. He's kind of back in the groove as far as hosting fitness classes and stuff like that. And he's very interested in doing the podcast. He just needs to get the details about being interviewed in your podcast. So just wanted to give you that update.
Okay, excellent, excellent. That's good. So what do we need to do to move that along or to help him?
To start, just what all does he need on his end? Any information that he needs to pass on to you all to set up the interview, or just anything like that on how that process
Okay,
works.
so he wants to be interviewed on our podcast.
Yes, correct.
Oh, okay, okay. So what they do need to do, just so you know, Cynthia, Gail, who's not here today, Gail and I run a podcast. That's a weekly podcast. We record it on Mondays, and anybody in the group here, including yourself, can apply to be on that podcast. And all they have to do is check with me or Gail. I happen to have my calendar right in front of me and I write it down. So I'll tell you the dates we have, James, if you want to reveal it to him. The dates that we have available right now are the 15th and the 22nd of July. The other Mondays are taken, and then we're working on August. So any Monday in August is fine. So that would be July 15th or 22nd.
Okay. And then I'll give you the information about him if you want to do some research on him. He has a lot of videos, even podcasts, stuff like that he's already done, so you can see what he's done. He's really energetic person, and you guys will really enjoy him.
Oh, that's
Bring him
good.
into the group
That's
as soon as
good.
he gets settled. So it's be
We
cool.
also start at 9:30 Central Time, so it's a half an hour podcast. We require a good audio, so the earbuds you have on, Cynthia, are fine. You can wear a headset, or if you have a laptop that has or a computer that has a good solid sound system, that's fine. Like James, you sound fine. Stu sounds fine. Arnita sounds fine. But if you don't, you need one with a microphone for the podcast, because you got to remember, people are listening more than they're watching a podcast. And so if your sound is bad, or it's too low, or it's got background noise, they're not going to listen. And that's bad when it comes to a podcast. So we start at 9:30. It's a half an hour Central Time, of course. And we just require a good sound, and there's no script. So I do send out all the things that we could ask them, because people are like, well, what are you going to ask me? You know, it's a conversation that we have, and it's called Digital Office at Home. So it is about working from home. So we'll probably talk about, so how do you keep motivated working from home? How do you deal with people knocking on your door, the dogs barking, interruptions, that type of thing. My phone, like I have to keep my phone on because of the hospice nurses today. But you know what? People are very aware, and they're okay with people working from home now. It used to be 10 years ago, you couldn't do that. People wouldn't take you seriously. They didn't want to hire somebody that worked from home. They wanted to hire somebody that was reliable and all that stuff. And they wanted videos that were produced. Now it's like, no, we're all doing it ourselves now. No, and I love that. We're real now. We could show ourselves. We don't have to hide behind the corporate veil. I love that. All right, any other questions or thoughts on the podcast? No, we're good. Okay, so that why don't I just go ahead and move right into that, because I did want to talk to you about that this morning. When I do a podcast, I use Zoom now. I used to use StreamYard. It's, you know, it's cost effective, but I don't need it anymore. Zoom has everything I need, and it has the AI companion. So now I don't have to try to remember or make notes while my guest is talking or watch the video again. It literally pulls up a summary of everything everybody said, and it goes into details. And so I can pick what I want out of there and put it in the description, and I put it up on YouTube, and then I upload it to all the podcast apps. Now, the podcast apps are really interesting because it used to be you had to pay a company to distribute that to all the different places like Apple and all these places, but Spotify now will do it for free. And so you set up an account with Spotify, and you set up an account on YouTube, and you can do the recording. So if you need to do any editing, you can. But as soon as you're happy with the recording, you upload it to YouTube and you upload it to the podcast apps. And the podcast will accept video and audio now. So you don't even have to strip out the audio or try to find the audio. You know, it's you could just throw it up there just like you do YouTube. And it will automatically distribute it to all the podcast places that you tell it. Okay. So yes, you do have to go in ahead of time and do your artwork, and, you know, make sure that you are, you have an account with Apple, you have an account with all these different places that you want your podcast to go to. But once you have it set up, it's just you hit the buttons, make it go up there, and it does it automatically. One of the things that people don't realize about podcast is, unlike YouTube, it's one piece of artwork. You don't change it every week or every time you do a podcast. It's the same artwork. So if you ever listen to a podcast and you look on your phone for the podcast app, you go to podcast, you'll see, hopefully you'll be able to see that. Oops, sorry, let me get in front of it. Can you see the podcast app artwork, okay, on the side there? It just stays the same every week, no matter what your topic is. So what they do is people will they like your topic, and so they'll download your podcast and they'll listen to it every week. Every time you come up with a new one, they send a notice out, and you get a notice, oh, there's a new podcast from Marion, has a new podcast. And so they can listen to it then or whenever they have a chance, because it's recorded. And what I do when I start my podcast is I say, if you'd like to see our funny faces, you can go to YouTube and watch our podcast, or you can go to your favorite podcast app and listen to us when you're out mowing your lawn or walking your dog or driving down the road. And so that way you get to more people, because not everybody wants to watch a video or has the time to stop and watch a video, but they can listen while they're mowing the lawn, you know, we're taking their morning walk. Stu goes out for a morning walk every day. Do you listen to podcasts or do you do your own?
Typically I'm going live.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. So,
So sometimes I hop into the morning workout thing every now and then, just see what's going on in there. But for the most part, I'm doing, I kind of walk for the first part. Sometimes I listen to a book, and then I do my live as I'm walking back. So
So here's the process that I take when I do a podcast. It's so easy. It's so easy. I schedule it for a certain time. I schedule the people, and we're going to get into how I get people for that in a minute. Okay, I schedule the people. I send them a note, and I'd be happy to share this note with you if you all want to do a podcast. I share this note that tells them exactly where they're supposed to go, when they're supposed to be there, and what I expect from them and what they can expect from me. And it's a detailed one, and the only thing I change is their name. Hi, so-and-so. We're looking forward to having you on our podcast on this date at this time, and here's the link. And so I send them the Zoom link. It's a separate Zoom link than we have here because, well, there's a lot of reasons for that. And then I ask them to send me anything that they are going to be promoting that day. And then I send them a list of things that we could ask them. So it's pretty clear, and no one ever asks me any questions. So it must be working because everyone shows up, and I send them a reminder about an hour before we go on, about 8:30 Central Time. I send them a reminder that we're going on in an hour. So it's easy for me because it's all done ahead of time and it's all scheduled, and I schedule it out usually a month or so out. And once it's over, I hit the record button and the AI companion. Once it's over, I shut the AI companion off and I turn off the recording, and it renders. And as soon as it's done rendering, I can upload it, or I can wait till the next day if I'm busy. So like today, Mondays are very busy for me. So I have one thing after another. I have all these different things that are going on. And so I don't usually do it, but it'll be ready for me when I'm ready. And then I go to YouTube first. I upload it to YouTube. I pick out usually for something funny, because they'll let you do a screenshot, or they'll let you upload, something that you want on YouTube. Different every time. So if I see part of the video, somebody's doing something funny or whatever, I'll use that just to give it, a little something for them to look at. And then once I've done that, literally it's just a piece of the video. I just click on it and it does it by itself. So there's really no work involved. You could do a separate graphic if you wanted in Canva, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I will take the time to do that. Once I've done that, it's uploaded. I tell it, no, it's not made for children. No, I don't have any ads in there. It'll ask you some questions, and I make sure it's a public rendering. And Cynthia and I went through that, by the way. We want to talk about that, Cynthia, about how we did your video on your website and how it didn't show up. So remind me if I forget to talk about that. So once you have all the answers, all the questions answered, and you have a little thumbnail of what you want it to show, then you take your AI companion summary, you look through it to make sure it didn't like misspell the person's name, because it has done that once in a while. And you change anything you want, and then you just copy and paste that into the description. So I usually have a one sentence before that says, this is Marian LaSalle and my co-host Gail Kendig, and my guest is such and such. And that's the only thing that's different. The rest of it is done through AI now. And once we're done with that, we hit the button to upload it, and it automatically goes. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes for a half an hour podcast to render and get it uploaded. They do a check now to make sure it doesn't have anything against their terms of service. And I have had it tell me no. I've had it tell me, we're not going to allow you to put this video up. And so you have to look and find out why. Now that it's only happened twice, and I've been doing this for years. It's only happened twice. Once was because I had I shared my screen, and it was a song that was copyrighted. So they'll allow you now, they have the ability to just mute that. So, you know, you can handle it. It's okay. All right. But you do have to go through that check. And then I think it's done. Now that may take, you know, a half an hour to do the YouTube and the podcast. So the podcast is the same way. You upload it. There's no artwork because remember I told you that's the same art every week. So you don't even have to worry about artwork. You just put the description in that you did on YouTube and you hit go. That's how easy it is. It's free. It's easy. You can learn to do it yourself or you can hire somebody to do it for you.
It's amazing, everything that's out there that's at our disposal in our fingertips, literally. So that's cool.
Yes, it is. I have been noticing that Cynthia is really starting, maybe not starting, but she is doing a lot of stuff. Like I saw she has TikTok now and she has YouTube and she's got a lot of stuff going on. And I want everyone here, and if you're watching this recording, I want you to know that it's not only easy, but it's possible that you can do this, okay? Because some people, oh, I can't do that, Marion. You're technical, so you can do it. I'm telling you, they make it so easy now that you can do it. You just have to learn how. You just have to learn the steps. You just might have to have the steps written down so because you might forget, that type of thing. You know, I'm self-taught and I just go and do stuff. Whatever. I just go and do it. And if it looks terrible, oh well, next time it'll be better, you know, type of thing. And I know that some people don't really like that. They want to be perfect before they go live. And so I'm gonna recommend that you try not to be perfect. Try to make mistakes and laugh at yourself. Go
Live is
ahead.
not perfect.
Huh?
Yeah.
Said live is not perfect.
No, no, it's not. No, it's not.
And what's great about that is that it shows other people that they can do it themselves. You know, when people make mistakes and all that, that they can laugh at themselves, like we were saying. It just makes everybody else comfortable to be able to get out there and do it.
Yes, 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 yes. All right, so if anybody wants, when we don't really have time today or anything, but if you want, we could do it in our one of our classes. I could take you through the steps, each step. You know, the only thing I can't do that I'd have to do recorded ahead of time is the AI companion. For some reason, Zoom won't let me show you. If I share my screen, it won't let me show you what I'm doing. It's weird. I don't understand it, but the recording in AI is different. So I could record it and then show it to you guys that way, which I would be happy to do if you all want, if you're willing to do it and you want to do it. James says, yeah, why not?
I'm like a
Yeah.
sponge. I'm like a sponge.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Okay, so we talked about the podcast, the YouTube, and the podcast apps. Now, how do I get people to show up? The coffee chat for me is the easiest way that I have found to do this. Have I done other ways? Of course. I've gotten on LinkedIn, I've gotten on YouTube, I've gotten on different places, Facebook, even Messenger, and just asked people, would they like to be on? I've invited you all to be on. But here is the easiest way to get the right people that you really want, and that is to go in and offer a coffee chat. So for you, Cynthia, we do have a script that I put up on our Google Sheet, but you can ask me for it and I'll be happy to send it to you. And it's my invitation to the people that I pick that I would like on the show. So Stu, I'd like for you to talk a little bit about how you were able to take this script and create it yourself and what has been the outcome.
Script for what now again? I'm sorry.
For the coffee chat.
Oh, the coffee chat. Well, I used yours to a great degree, and actually I popped it right into AI and said rewrite it. So, and then I kind of, stewed it down from there. So basically it's not too far from what you started with as far as the script goes.
And where are you
I
sending it, or who are you sending it to?
I haven't done a lot of individual sending on it yet. I've done posts with it. I have done an email with it to my group, or to my email list. So, um, that's really all I've done with this. I think I talked about it on a live one night, but I haven't started actually sending it to individuals yet. So that's this week's plan is I'm going to start, actually sending it out to, people in Messenger and so forth. So.
Okay, and has anybody taken you up on it yet?
No, not from that. I've had conversations from other things I've sent out, but not from the coffee chat.
Okay. So that is a good point. If you just put stuff up on social media, people may or may not, they may or may not say
Right,
anything to
right.
you. And I am a proponent of talking to people individually. I
Mhm.
literally will send them a message either on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, or wherever. I will send them a personalized message. And when I say personalized, it's just their name, right? But I'm singling them out. If you do general, usually nothing happens. Anybody else notice that?
Mhm.
Yeah. So get specific, find out somebody that you would like to invite and invite them personally. Doesn't have to be a phone call, doesn't have to be an email. It could be on social media. It's just you need to ask them by name. Okay, Messenger. And you got to be careful with Messenger and probably the other social medias that you don't do that like 20 times, just changing their name. Facebook is smart. They know what you're doing and they will ding you for that. So don't do 20 at a time, pick out 2 a day or 5 a day. Don't go crazy on it. I've never gotten dinged, but I know people that have.
Mhm.
Okay. So once I invite them and they say yes, then I send them an email. So for those of you who don't know this, I have a page on my website that specifically is for the coffee chat. And so because of our wonderful system that we have here, when they go to that page and they fill out their name, their phone number, and their email, it's in my CRM. And so I take that information and Stu, you have an appointment you have to go to? Yeah, but you're gonna take us with you, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh. I love that. Work from anywhere. I love it, even in the car. Where was I? Oh, yes, I have a page on my website that specifically will allow them to sign up for my coffee chat. And so I'm not going to go into all the details here today, Cynthia, but we do have a very specific wording that sends them to, and it has what they call a pretty link. Well, we have our own. We don't have to use pretty link. We don't have to use bit.ly or anything like that. But it literally says marionlasalle.com/coffee chat. And when they go there, it goes to my page where they can sign up and for my coffee chat. So now I have their phone number and their email. I feel a lot more confident that they're going to show up on the day that they're supposed to. So then I send them an email with the link and the things that we talked about today. And if they don't show up, I have their phone number, so I can send them a text and say, I'm waiting for you for the coffee chat, or I'm waiting for you for our podcast. And so it just makes life easier when you can get a hold of somebody quickly. And a podcast, I don't do it live, but still, I'm sitting there waiting for them. I don't, and a lot of times they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize the time, and they'll get right on. So it works out really well. All right, so we can go into more of that anytime you all want to, the coffee chat, the podcast. let's talk about ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity. So yesterday, I had this really interesting conversation with a friend of mine, Becky's birthday. We went out for Becky's birthday, and we went out with another couple. And one of the ladies is a bigwig at one of the companies that does training for franchises. I think they have 20 franchises that they do the training for. So she travels a lot. She goes all over the country, and she works with companies that have purchased a franchise, and she teaches them all kinds of things. I'm not sure exactly what she teaches them, but maybe the software, or maybe you know, how to implement things. I'm not sure exactly. And she just got a promotion, and now she's got to learn a new software. And she's older, and she's like, Marian, these young kids coming in 30 and 40 years old, and they run circles around me, and I'm so scared. She said, I don't know what I'm going to do. They want me to learn this new software, and I don't know. I've got questions, and who do I ask? And I don't want to look like I'm a dummy. And so here's what I said. I said, oh, AI is going to help you with that. So what I did, and I want you all to bring out your phone right now if you can, and open up your ChatGPT if you have it already. And if you don't, I'll show you what it looks like. Let's see, it's right here. Hate that. Can you see that? Right there. Whoop. It's a it's a white background with a black, like a flower. It's called ChatGPT. Make sure you have the right one downloaded, you know, because there's hackers out there that are wanting you to download theirs. So I'm going to take my background off so y'all can see it better.
Do we get it from a store somewhere?
You do. Do you have an iPhone?
I have an iPhone.
Okay, go to the iPhone store. What's it called?
App Store.
The App Store. Go to the App
And
Store.
search
There you
for
go.
it.
Yep. All right. So it's
Here.
right here. Yeah. Y'all see it now? Called ChatGPT. Looks like a black and white flower. All right. So you're going to download that. And they just came out with a major upgrade yesterday. So I gotta have a background. I'm sorry. I can't just sit here with that awful background. So once you download that, you're going to see that you can, I'm going to have to show you again. Sorry. I'll go to none. Temporary. Okay. All right. So over here in the bottom, there's headphones. If you click on the headphones, it's going to connect to the internet. Hi, chat. How are you today?
I'm not able to connect to the internet directly. However, I can look up information or answer questions using the knowledge I have. What do you need help with, Marian?
Hi, chat. I'm so glad you remembered me. How about that? I'm talking to my mastermind group right now, and I'm explaining how wonderful you are. So yesterday we did ask you to help my friend with a software called Monday.com, and you were able to answer her questions, and I want to thank you.
Hi, Marian. I'm glad to hear that my help was useful for your friend with Monday.com. If there's anything else you'd like to share with your mastermind group, or any other way I can assist you today, just let me know.
Thank you. Talk to you later. So my friend said, I have a question about the software Monday.com. And when she told her the question, she said, of course I can help you. Here's where you click. Here's what you say. Here's what you do. You got it? Good. And my friend was like, Marian, you just saved my life. You know, I didn't know if I was going to have to quit my job. I literally could not figure this software out. And this lady, the lady on chat, was able to do exactly what she needed. Now, here's where the upgrade came in. That's free. Okay, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude are free, but you can upgrade to the paid version, which gives you even more. And she said, Marion, can I upload a picture? Because I'm having trouble, trying to figure out, this picture, and I need to show chat. And I said, no, that's the paid version. You can pay for it. And yesterday they came out with a free version. You can now take a screenshot or show her something that you downloaded from the internet and ask a question, and she can see exactly what you're talking about.
Wow. I mean, wow.
I know. I know. Now, I fact check everything I do, okay? I fact check ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude with each other because they lie. This AI is not 100%. It's not, it's almost like it's like a human. It's like, it's fallible, right? It doesn't always tell you the truth, or it makes stuff up. So you have to fact check anything, especially because I write a blog post and I write for a company that does Medicare. So I have to be sure I'm saying the right things, right? So when I write an article and I ask, for help for different things from chat or from Perplexity or Claude, whatever I'm using at the time, and it gives me the answer, I have to go and check to make sure that it's the right answer, because sometimes it's wrong. And I'll ask, why in the world did you tell me that? That's ridiculous. It's not even true. And they'll come up with some strange thing. Or you heard her say, I'm sorry, I can't check the internet. Well, of course she can check the internet. She checks the internet every day, all day. I mean, that's what they do. She just lied to us. You heard her. She said, no, I can't check the internet. What? Yes, you do. What are you talking about? So I'm not telling you to rely on this, okay? I'm telling you to use it to help you, to guide you, to give you ideas for hashtags, for titles, for a bio. So I did notice, I use it so much, and I've been diving into AI since the day I could.
Mhm.
I know, I can tell if you just go in there and tell it and send it to me, I can tell. Don't do that. Don't do that. Use it to help you and guide you and give you ideas. Or to rewrite something that's even better that you've done. Like I couldn't come up with a great birthday message. For some reason, my mind just went blank, and I'm like, help me with my friend's birthday. I love her, and I think she's awesome, and and AI came up with this great thing, and I took things from that. I didn't have her write it. I asked her to give me some thoughts on it. Anybody have any thoughts on what I'm saying here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, I mean, interrupt, but yeah, for me, when I talk to people and talk to them about GPT, I always tell them, I say, writer's block is completely out of the window now. There's no excuse for that. If you have to take the time to walk away, come back, this is something that can help you with writer's block for sure, because a lot of people run into that and tend to procrastinate on some things. But this is one way to really eliminate that. I know it does for me. So
Excellent. That's good. Anybody else?
Same thing with the ideogram. I mean, I've used that and only really had a quote to start with and really didn't have an idea of the picture I was looking for. And I'll start with what it gives me, and it takes me in different directions. So,
Oh, that's a good idea. Good idea, Stu, because I did have a problem with that. I didn't know what I wanted for July. I wanted to change out my Facebook message at the top, the what do you call that thing at the top there?
the cover page.
Yes, I wanted a different cover for July. And I just couldn't think. I'm like, And so I thought, I can't use ideogram because I have to have the right prompt. So here's what I did this morning. I went to Perplexity and I said, give me some ideas of a prompt I can use, because that's the word you need to use. That's the word prompt. Give me an idea of a prompt I can use on ideogram for a motivational and kind Facebook, what'd you call it?
Facebook cover page.
Cover page, there you go. And I took what Perplexity gave me and I took it over to Ideogram and I came up with a really nice graphic. So you can do that. You can ask one AI to give you a prompt for another AI. There's just nothing you can't do now. I'll tell
Well,
you.
what's nice about it is it's like brainstorming as well. You know, like it's like brainstorming with a group of people. You can continue to ask questions and change it, and it's just another way of being able to think creatively and getting feedback at the same time.
Yes,
It is.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had fun with Emerson over the weekend.
I love Emerson.
So for Cynthia, what we're talking about is we have an AI in our HBA. It has two AIs actually. One is for the $25 level that where you are. It's called Sage, and it's down at the bottom of every page. If you have a question about HBA, check with Sage and she'll give you the answer or tell you where to go to watch a video. And what Arnita's talking about is if you ever decide you want to upgrade to the second level, we have another AI called Emerson. So tell us your story about Emerson, Arnita.
Well, I know maybe some of you have heard of Noah St. John and his affirmations.
Yes.
Well, I was exposed to him a long time ago, which would be like 1997, 1998. And he had this shower that changed his life when he came up with the idea of affirmations. And it is a spin on affirmations. He sort of had an epiphany in the shower to turn the affirmation into a question of something that you wanted to believe. And he's on his second book now. Needless to say, he was a nobody then, and he met I forget who with Chicken Soup of the Soul, and they published his first book, and he's writing another one now. And so I decided to try to change affirmations into afformations using Emerson. It was fun. And I applied that to annihilating weakness and making personal development fun. And it told me that the annihilating weakness was a daunting task, but that it was not impossible. And it encouraged me to go out there and tackle it. And it gave me ways to do it.
Oh, I love that.
I love how Emerson always addresses you as a freedom crusader.
It does. It does. It was so much fun. I got pages and pages of things that I wrote down instead of screenshotting the page. But yeah, it's affirmations are a little different. You can ask yourself, what you're doing is asking yourself something that you want to believe, because you're trying to get to the point of belief. In other words, I would say something like, why is it so easy for me to whatever it is? And they gave you ideas. Emerson gave me ideas that nothing that we're not practicing now. It's some of the very things that we're practicing now, only they called it a wish list. Make a wish list, prioritize, visualize, create a passion plan. Just nothing that we're not doing now, but how I could apply to annihilating weakness by way of making personal development fun. It doesn't have to be just for children. Yeah.
So how can you turn that into a post or an email now? See?
Therein lies your brain working with all our brains on it.
That's great. That's great. I love it.
Yeah. So maybe I was so engrossed. I did stop at I was looking for you've heard of is it infotainment? Is it
Yeah.
No?
they make their graphics, infotainments or something like that. But yeah, I have notes. I gotta go back and try to find graphics for this. Yeah, graphics.
So spell that for me. Info or info?
TAINMENT.
So what are you looking for, pictures or what?
I'm looking for pictures, yes.
Why don't you create your own?
I don't know. It doesn't come into my head.
Well, see, that's where the ideogram comes in. If you have some idea of what you're wanting, you give it the slightest prompt and then let it go from there, and you'll find it.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Does it take time? I'll have to sit down with my notes and my screenshots and just methodically go through it all and your brain is going so fast sometimes you want to not stop writing. You just want to keep on writing. And I was exhausted, but it was a great time. I got pages of I filled these notebooks up by the I don't know how much. I can't tell you how many of these I have.
I know. I've got.
So I'm writing every day,
Good.
different times throughout the day. Yeah, because I know that it's there and I date the outside so I can get back to it maybe. But it's something when you go back and you pull an old book, it's like the shiny object syndrome. You just get so set up on it, you're seeing things that you see now, things that you learned then, and it just all comes flooding back in and it can take up a lot of time. But the ideas are fantastic.
That's wonderful.
If I could get a picture of it, I'd be in business.
Yes, we want to hear. We want to see. Keep us updated on that.
Okay.
All right, before we get to Cynthia, and I'm willing to take the rest of the time here today, helping you if you're up for having everybody in the group help you. Before we do that, I would like to remind everyone that you need to start on your book chapter. You don't want to wait to the last minute. And so I want you to take the time right now to think about if someone reads your book chapter next year, is it going to say what you want them to hear or to read? So you don't want to make it something that you're working on right now. You want to make it evergreen. That's what I'm going to call it. You want to make your book chapter evergreen. So be thinking about not only what you want to call it, but what you're going to be writing about. And this chapter can be as short or as long as you want it to be. I wouldn't make it too long because people get, they get bored and they get they have a low attention span. But you want to have it long enough to get your point across. So what is it that you are working on or thinking about today that a year from now or 2 years from now, if somebody reads it, it's going to be appropriate. It's going to be timely. Okay, evergreen. Anybody got any thoughts, questions, or?
Book chapter.
Yeah.
Now, the book has no title.
Not yet. It does not have a title yet. So it's not due until December. So you have plenty of time, but I don't want, the procrastination king is going to take over if you wait. So put it in your notes that you're going to start thinking about what your chapter is going to be about. And of course, remember that this group is called Digital Office at Home. So it could be about how you work from home or how, and then at the end, you could invite them to come to your website. So it doesn't have to sell anything, but it needs to have some kind of call to action to bring them back to you. The end of your chapter or in the middle of your chapter or both, doesn't matter. And it doesn't have to be about any product or service that you offer. It just needs to be interesting. And it needs to be along the line of, you know, digital office at home, working from home. It's not hard because you all work from home.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
So
wrote
you-
it yesterday. I wrote it.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
I didn't know I was writing it, but you just told me I did.
There you go. See? Yeah, so don't wait, you know, use us to, just like what Cynthia asked us today, you know, somebody needs to help her look at what she's doing because it's the first time she's done it for her new website. Has she written blog posts before? Of course she has, many times. She's been writing for a long time, but this is all kind of new to her, so she wants to make sure that she does it right and she says the right things and it's structured right, okay? So write yourself a note. Now, I don't expect Stu to do that because he's driving, so this will be in the summary and we'll send it out later today. And it'll have that in there, so be sure and write yourself a note. All
You
right,
know
hey.
what? You know what,
Yes.
Marianne? I know
Yes.
I was gonna share what happened to me on my new thing, but I have something going on in about 10 minutes. So
Oh, okay.
I would have to thank you so much, and I would have to not sharing this at this moment. Once I have everything done, I will share with you guys next time what I have done. But
Okay.
right now, I'm kind of in a mess.
I totally get it. I understand totally.
Yeah, okay.
No
All
problem at
right.
all.
Okay.
So does anybody have any questions, thoughts, or things they want to share with Cynthia before she has to take off on her little jaunt?
Glad you came out today to be with us.
Yep,
Thank you
glad
for
to
that.
meet
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
On the board, welcome.
Look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing your work and hope we can jump in.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. You guys are so kind. All right. I'll see you next time. And thank you. If I have more questions, I will email you or text you, Marianne. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming
Bye-bye.
in. Bye, Cynthia. Hi, Manas, you're in the house today.
I mean,
That's in the house.
I've been
hey,
here. It's just that I was out in the yard and stuff, so it just made it easier just to have the camera off.
I understand. I totally do. Although we
But
do like
I'm
to see your
listening. I'm
yard.
listening. I'm listening to
do-
everyone.
We do
And I
love
just
to
wanted
see
to
your
say,
yard.
I just wanted to say one thing real quick. Arnita mentioned procrastination and stuff, but I must commend her. When she said the 1,500 days with that app, we can't be perfect with everything, but that right there is just so commendable. That, and also when she talks about personal development, I could just see the joy, just like now when she's just talking, her eyes just lit up and stuff, where you can feel the passion.
I was
So
wondering if
yeah,
anybody noticed that. That's awesome.
yeah, I love it. I love it. I was like, wow, look how she just lit up like a light bulb. So I think that's so cool.
I do too.
thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you.
I have
It's
to,
good. It's good to see people express their passion.
yes, yes. I have been
Especially in a
meditating.
world of AI now and everything. So to see someone just be their authentic self, it's and I think moving in the future is going to be very, very important.
Yes, it is. Part of my issue with transitioning, I love the let's go, but I might get up at 4, 5, 6 in the morning. I'm not let's going. I'm insight timing. It's tracking me, and right now I'm at my 344th consecutive meditation, but it has tracked me for a couple years now, and I faltered this last August. There was a death in the family. I went home to DC. I'm doing my regular thing. I'm figuring this is second nature to me now. And when I went in, after I had been there maybe 10 days, I missed that previous morning. And I don't know yet how I did it because it's second nature to me. Nobody wakes up at 5 o'clock and don't know what they do. And and I thought I did it. It was so real to me. We were in a hospice situation in the house, and I missed that one day, and I picked it back up, and the only way I knew it because it said one consecutive day, and I went, "What? I have hundreds of days."
Right, right.
And so since then, I've created another 345 consecutive days. But if I were to look at my history,
Hello, Stuart Sutherland.
thousands, yeah. So it lets you
That's
check in every morning. It allows you to check in with your emotions. It has a
Coverage is
list
gonna have
and you
changed.
touch them, and it tracks the check-in too. And that's the one that I have the multi-hundreds on. And so I've started over since August, and I'm at 345. So I'll be getting another year under my belt, 365
That's
consecutive days.
very impressive.
That's
Very
the goal
impressive.
I'm on now, the 360
Right.
I
consecutive.
think that what you just explained to us is something that can be written about in itself, because that is, like Arnez said, it's commendable to do that, and to hear someone take those steps for personal development and be that consistent. People need to hear that story.
Not only do they need to hear it, but if you share it, we appreciate it.
Right.
Oh,
I know I
here's
do. Yeah.
here's the number, 1,235th consecutive check-in.
Wow.
Right.
I can show you that. It
You have to
doesn't
hold
look
it in
like
front of
I
your
can-
face in order for it
Yeah,
to show up.
1,235th. This morning was my 1,235th consecutive check-in.
Wow. That's
So question, because I see you keep referring to the number. So now does the number like just help as a motivator, because as you get further and further along, I guess that would be like a pushing force, not to a backslide.
And it shows you a graph. It'll give you a graphic of how you trended up. And it, like I said, it just tracks everything for me. And it's so great to go back and see and to know that you've done this consecutively. So the way the check-in works, it gives you an awful to great, a range, awful bad, okay, good, and great. And so every morning I check in emotionally, and then it gives you meditations that might relate to what you say your mood is. And I can just choose, and this app is free. This app is free, and you can come up with the subject that you might want to learn, and some of the big ones are on here. Cornfield, just yeah.
So this is called Insight Timer. It's an app.
InsightTimer.com.
Mhm.
And it's social in that you can make friends. It'll show you groups, all kinds of groups. Maps tells you how many people are meditating with you when you open it up around the world, with a map showing the places dotted all around the world where people are meditating with you. And you can choose to say friend. They can choose to say they don't want to be a friend. They'll take a donation. They won't take a donation. It's just offers so much. And I do give it to people and ask them to check it out. Some do, some don't. And I just think it's a great app. And I'm telling you, if I wake up at 5, I'm opening up my Insight Timer and I'm beginning meditative prayer. And I can go for an hour because my calls don't start till 8 and 9. So I have that time. I'm in the dark. It's quiet. I love it.
That's wonderful.
So now listening to this, and Marion, excuse me, I don't want to take too much
No,
time.
please,
It's just that
please do.
I feel that we're going somewhere. But now is there some way where you can like intertwine these two, like this app that you're so passionate about that's been so helpful for you? Is there any way where you can like combine that with Let's Go? Because obviously you're an expert when it comes to this app over here, but is there some type of way where you can take this free app and the paid app of Let's Go and bring them together and share this with people, because obviously you are an expert when it comes to what you're doing with this app. 1,500 consecutive days. I would consider you an expert.
No doubt.
Wow. Wow, that's a good question.
So that's
Yeah.
me in my meditative state and praying. I don't know.
I think
know.
there is. I think there is, because there's a lot of people out there that are looking for guidance. So now if the Let's Go would be sort of like the paid aspect of them, joining your inner circle, so to speak, and then you can also use that other free app as a tool to accomplish what you're doing. It's just, you're just so passionate about it. I don't even think it's about the money. I think you would just do it for free if you found other people that needed your assistance with this, because like I said, the way you look, you can't see it. You're on the other side. We saw it. The way you lit up when you were talking about this, I'm like, wow, so that's just me sharing my thoughts.
I love that you did that,
Yep.
Manas. Thank you so much,
Yep.
because we all saw it,
so
but when
much.
nobody said anything. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, this thing does so much, and you can make friends. That does make it social. You can make friends.
So how would we go
People
about
thank
finding a
you.
way to do those, to combine those? What do you
Yeah, I
think?
don't know. I have people now thanking me for meditating with them. If I open it up, some say they don't make friends. They don't take friendship requests. It says, thank you for meditating with me. And I'll say, thank you, or namaste or something, and send it back. But it's something you can do. You don't have to. The option is there. It can be where you live, around the world. It'll just give it to you, information. It's just giving it to you. It must be a huge app, but they take donations, and there are courses. There are courses.
So my question then is, do you want to integrate those two?
I love the Let's Go does the dream board, just a dream board.
Vision board, okay.
I don't know that this does that, but this does a lot of things that Let's Go cannot do.
So now it's quick question, because I'm not really familiar with the app. So now, is there anything that's just that you can only find on Let's Go that maybe this other, because it doesn't need a whole lot of things. It could just be one thing that Let's Go has that this other one doesn't have, that you can just use that just to tie it all together.
The dream board. This does not do a dream board.
Okay.
board.
Okay. Well, and vision boards are very, very big. So it could just be something just as simple as that. Like, we're going to use this in addition to this free app, but this is going to be like more focused on, say, the vision board aspect of it.
Yes,
This
I
won't
love
prompt
that.
you to exercise. It won't prompt you to read. It won't prompt you to do those things where Let's Go does.
See, look, you found like 2 or 3 things already.
You did.
You only need one.
Yep.
You only need one. So now with 3, and that's it. There's the combo. You have a value meal now.
I can't see it.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah, it does not prompt you to do whatever Let's Go prompts you to do, to stretch.
Okay.
Yeah, to stretch, to read. Yeah, it doesn't do that. To journal. Yeah, it has a journal leg. It does have a journal leg.
So between those 3 things that it doesn't do, and then what you bring to the table, that's what ties it all together. Because people that are already using that, in addition to the things that it doesn't do, and then your personal tutelage, I think you have a package to offer someone that would be willing to pay every month to be a part of that.
That scares me.
No, it shouldn't. You're doing it already anyway. And there's people that they're at day 1. You're at day 1,500. It was a long journey for you to get there. And there's so much that you can help someone at day one.
In the tracking, it can show me every meditative prayer I use.
See? And then from that, you can pick out a handful of your favorites to share with people that are part of your Let's Go.
Yep. Yep.
I get it.
It's
Oh,
great
wow.
idea.
Make
Oh.
yourself a note, and
Yeah.
we'll help you. We'll, you know, each week we can see how far you come along, make you accountable. If this is what you want to do, we're here to
If I
help
can
you.
combine it with what I am doing every day, yes, that's exactly what I want.
Well,
Okay.
that's it. You can do it.
Yep.
That sounds
It's
great.
just become second nature to me. I can't even stop using. I can't stop tracking myself.
And look, as
It's a
helpful as
game.
you find it so helpful, and there's other people out there that will find it just as helpful as you do. And it's just a matter
Wow.
of sharing it.
Wow.
This brings a big point up about gamifying things for people,
so
because
much.
she said, you know, it has to be made fun. You have to make it fun. And it's true. There's a place called pogo.com that has a Sudoku. It's connected with Monopoly, if you know any of those.
Okay.
And I have to do it every day because they made a game out of it. And if I don't do it every day, I lose, you know, so I totally get it. I'm there every day because they gamified it for me. So now I do a Sudoku puzzle every day. And so if you could maybe think about how you can make it fun for other people to go from one app to the next, maybe you could, you know, you just put
That's
your
what
brain.
the AI told me yesterday was to make it a
Ah.
game.
There you go. There
That's
you go. We
it.
just have to
Yeah.
figure it out. Isn't that
Yeah.
great?
And what was the name of that app again? Because I'm curious
Insight
now. I want to
Timer.
look into it.
Can I send you a link? InsightTimer.com, but there's
Yes,
no affiliate or anything.
a link would be extremely helpful.
And
Yeah.
this will be in the summary notes, the
Perfect,
email that you
perfect.
guys get. That's right.
Perfect.
Hey,
And
before
those summaries are great, you
I
know, because
Yes, they
know.
are.
Yeah, they
I
are.
you
know.
know, it's like it just jogs your memory, just seeing things. Yeah, I remember that, and then it's so I created a little folder where I'm going to save these as reference material to go back to.
Yep.
That is awesome. I know I'm
Yeah.
thrilled with it too. AI is like my best friend.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
before
placed it in.
I didn't mean to just jump in and just go off on a tangent like that. It's
we
just
wanted
I just
to.
had
Are
to
you
just.
kidding?
That-
This was
that was
golden.
perfect. Yeah, that was perfect.
Yes,
Golden.
thank you so much. I got
Please
so much
do.
help.
Always.
So much help.
Before we go, we only have
We'll
2
never
minutes
get rid
left.
of it, but we can kill it. I can have fun annihilating weakness.
Marion, before we go, can you? Oh, what happened?
Oh, sorry.
Oh no. I thought I was
That's
losing
okay.
you. I'm like, oh
No,
wow, I
no,
thought the
I was
phone was.
just
No,
before
I
we
thought the
went, I
phone
had
was
something.
dying. But before we leave, can you just mention Claude? Because it's funny, you know, when you was talking about Chat GPT, I don't have the app. I've never used the app. I only use Claude, right? And so when you mentioned it before, I was like, oh, okay, wow, someone else is using Claude, and you said that there were new updates and stuff. So
Yep. They had a major upgrade with Claude. They had a major upgrade with Chat GPT. And here's the deal. It's the reason why they're doing this is everybody's competing with each other. They're making it a game, okay? So we've got Apple that's coming out with a new Siri that is by the end of this year. Siri is going to be an AI that you'll be able to talk to much better than you do now. Right now, she's kind of weird. But anyway, Apple, Microsoft, OpenAI, Chat GPT, all Google, everybody's competing with each other to do better, and so you don't even have to pay anymore. Why should you pay when everybody's giving to? Eventually, they're going to settle down and they'll make you pay, but for right now, it's all free.
Yep. Take
You know?
advantage of it now.
Exactly.
And that's
Exactly.
I think it's going to be free for the foreseeable future. Just like YouTube. You know, YouTube is free, but then you have people like my son that pays because he doesn't like the ads and stuff.
Me
So
too,
you're
I
always going to
pay.
have people that are willing to pay for a little
Okay,
extra,
that's
but
right. I don't want to watch those ads. I pay $5 a month and I don't have to watch ads. Hell
you know
yeah.
what? You know, as a marketer and stuff, I like some of the ads and stuff, you know, because I just hit the skip button and stuff. I don't know, you know. And I love, my wife hates that. I love commercials. I love commercials. I like ads. I just like the creative process of
Yeah.
other people putting stuff together.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
You
the same
too,
way.
James.
I'm the
Yeah.
same way. I
That's so
just
cool.
laugh at some of the commercials.
Yes,
Like,
Yeah,
yes,
they are
that
yes.
funny.
that is incredible.
And when I come across a winner, I'm like, someone got a promotion behind this commercial right here, because this is a winner.
So you
Yeah.
love the football commercials.
Yeah, well, I'm not like a big sports person, you know, so yeah, I'll watch them, whatever, but I'm like sports. I'm like, if you talk to me, you'd be like, is this guy from planet Earth? He knows nothing about what's going on.
Wow.
Yeah, that is unusual. Most people
Yeah,
are
and it's
really
funny
into
because my
sports.
two sons, huge into sports. You know, one of my sons is actually a sports trainer, and I'm like the total opposite. You know, it's, I guess once you realize what you like, you know, you focus on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you figure out your gift and what you're comfortable in.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go. Yep.
Now, remember, we're not going to be here 4th of July.
Thursday.
That's Thursday. Okay, so there's no. So we'll be back again next Monday. So I don't want to wait that long to tell you about this. So I want to share one more thing before we go. And that is on your website, either a page on your website or on the front page, people want to know what it is that you have in a very short period of time, and they don't want to get confused. So if you have a lot of stuff on your page, or you have more than one call to action, they usually just won't do anything. And so I learned from a YouTube video I was watching with no commercials about how you should do like step by step, and even tell them step one, or say next step or something like that. So here's how I changed the front page of our website. And that is, I'm going to show you here real quick. Can you all see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So it used to be, you have, you know, your logo or whatever here, and you have your navigation bar up here, and then whatever you have up here. Well, I wanted them to see videos first, and I am going to redo them because, you know, hey, I wasn't perfect the first time. Oh my God, you know, give me an F. No, give me an A for trying. All right.
Yes, yes.
But then it just went into this and this and this and that, and then they could sign up for this and they could go for that and all these things. And so here's what I did. I said, next step. Let me go to the internet so you don't have to see the stuff on there. So so they watch one of these videos, and then I said, next step. Either way you choose, you're welcome to join the mastermind. So if they choose do it yourself, they can sign up for the $25 all-in-one, or they can sign up for HBA, build their own website, build their own funnel, whatever, or they can have my company, Painted Path Designs. They can have the website built for them, kind of like what Cynthia did. She went this route. Now she wants to learn it, so she's joining the mastermind. So that's the next step. Either way you choose, you're welcome to join the mastermind, whether you do it yourself or you have a website built for you. So I thought I would bring this to you all. And so for your websites, you can maybe start thinking about what it's like for the person coming to your website. Do they know what's the next step? Well, the next step is maybe to contact you. So that's my next thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to say next step, contact or make an appointment to, you know, have a phone or a Zoom call. Yes, I'm working on that in my brain. I haven't figured it out yet. What is the next step after that one?
That goes along the line of like an onboarding process. And I think that's it, like that's perfectly aligned with what you were saying on your website. it's like an onboarding, welcome process. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And this could be for any page on your website. It doesn't have to be the front page. It could be, your funnel. Because a lot of people try to put too much on one page, That's just the way it is. And I built a website for a chiropractor, and he said, Marion, I really need the front page to have everything on it, because most of the people are driving down the road looking for somebody to help them with the pain in their back. They have a back pain, they need a chiropractor, and they're just scrolling with their thumb. So here's how I did that one. I made all the pages on the front page, but then I had each of those thoughts on a separate page. So for people that wanted expansion of the thought, or more information, or more pictures, or whatever, I made separate pages for those. But I was able to get everything onto one page that he does for those scrollers.
I have an idea.
Yes.
When you said the next step, right? Wouldn't it be a good way to bring them into like the imagination process, as far as what would your ideal website consist of? Some type of way where they can like envision, even though they don't have it yet, and then depending on what they come up with, they're like, wow, this is really
That's a great
out
idea.
there. Maybe it's better to have someone do it, or when they realize that, hey, I can go through the creative process and I can do it myself.
You know what? That's a great idea, Manass, I've been wanting to do the quiz maker. We have a quiz maker in HBA. I could offer them a quiz if they're not sure.
Right. Mentally, it's like mentally, let's build your ideal website, or something like that, where
We're going to gamify it.
Right. They're imagining it, putting it together, and then depending on how intricate it gets, they're like, wow, you know what? Maybe I'll pay to get it done. Or, hey, you know what? I'll just go to the process and throw something together, maybe. I don't know. It just, as you said that, this is what popped in my head.
I love it. I've been wanting to do a quiz maker since they came out with it.
And Stu is great with that. Between the images that Stu is able to come up with this, and wow, so I guess it all ties together.
Yeah. Yep. Love
Yes,
it.
it does. Gosh, this was great, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
I'm telling you.
Just a rehash of last week when we were talking, and I was explaining that I like to help people problem solve. I think this was just like a little example of it. Like I like to hear like stumbling blocks, and then as I get ideas, I just like to share it. Some are good, some are not, but just like this over here, honestly, when we first started the call, for whatever reason, I don't know if I had like the Monday morning blues or whatever, but that's why I was out in the yard just trying to boost my spirits. But the way I felt when we started, I feel totally different now. This was very, very uplifting for me, just watching everyone, just sharing ideas and ahas, and, so yeah, it was beneficial to me.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Becky will always ask me, well, how did the mastermind go? And I'll usually say, so it's the best ever. She goes, you can't have the best ever every time. And I'm like,
It just keeps better, and it gets better and better. It's better and better.
Try.
oh, thank you guys. I hope you have a great 4th of July weekend, starting tomorrow.
Okay.
We get started.
Well, you
Thanks.
too.
New month, new quarter.
Yeah.
That's all
right.
that wrapped up in one.
That's
Right.
right. Stay safe. Keep your
Yeah.
pets indoors, and try not to
Yeah.
do too many fireworks, please.
Sure.
Yes.
All right.
Started already, the fire.
All right. Take care, everyone.
All right.
Have a good one. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Great day. Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.